Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Heidi. This is my channel about cross stitch. If you've just stumbled upon me, well, now you know what you're going to deal with. And for those of you that have seen me before, thanks for coming back. If you're new, I hope you stick around for more than 30 seconds and we'll see how this goes. Like I said, my name is Heidi. I'm in Southwest Virginia in the mountains, and it is finally a beautiful week here. It's supposed to be in the 80s again today, so we will take it. Typical spring, like cold, really hot, cold, really rainy, pollen, and okay, it's May. I guess we're going to be nice. Whatever. What are you going to do, right? So at least it's finally warm. I hope it's warmer where you are, or at least not loaded with tornadoes. It's been rough this past week. So if you're in the Midwest, I'm thinking of you. Where I grew up, there were a lot more tornadoes and all that fun stuff. It is terrifying, so hang in there. What are we going to work on today? I got all kinds of stuff. It's been about a month since I've seen you all. I've been very busy, stitching-wise and life-wise, and if you've been with me, you know what's been going on. I'm not going to bore you with the story. Just glad to have all that kind of behind us now and moving forward, and looking forward to talking to y'all. So today we have, my last video was my 1-year anniversary of doing these videos, so we had some giveaways, so we're going to announce those here pretty soon. And what else? I got my notes, bear with me. I'm going to show you my goodies I've been working on. I have been working on a bunch of stuff. I'm going to go over my Maynia plans, and I already have one start because technically I was working on it until midnight last night, so technically it was May 1st, right? Okay, that's what I'm going with. So I'll show you my Maynia projects. I'll update you on the ones I did last year, and we'll see where I am with those. I know you're pretty excited. I was kind of shocked too, personally. Anyways, again, in the last video I was showing you my floss drops that I make myself, and they've been through several variations over the past couple of 3 years. But anyways, I showed you, I thought, hey, you know, I got your feedback. Do you want me, would you want to buy these? Should I start an Etsy store? And not everybody, but there was a lot of feedback saying yes. So I went for it and opened the store up about a few weeks ago, and it's been a lot of fun. And thank you all for your support and helping me out and making me feel like it was worth doing. Okay, so I'm going to start with that a little bit because it's kind of hard to see in the pictures, and I'm working on the picture thing. It's going to get better. Hang on, because again, I'm not that good. Because you can tell by the videos, I don't know what I'm doing. Pictures, it's not much different. So, but I found me a new stitchy friend. I'll be talking about her in a second. And, well, actually, I'll talk about her now. One of my first orders was a lady that lives pretty close to me. When I saw the address, I'm like, pff, you know, as the crow flies, she's probably like 10 miles away from me. So I sent her a message, and I was like, hey, her name's Teresa. I said, hey, Teresa, I'll be glad to meet you somewhere. I'll refund your shipping, and if you want to, you know, meet my weird self and deliver your goodies to you, if that's what you want to do. And by some miracle, she said yes. So we met at a good old Starbucks a couple weeks ago, and we had a delightful time chit-chatting for a couple hours. So, yay, I have a stitchy friend that lives near me. I mean, I know there's some in the area. I just haven't met many of them, let alone one-on-one time with you to chit-chat. So she's perfectly wonderful. Definitely a girl after my own heart. Loves the big old projects. She is an art major, was an art major. You know how we all kind of start different paths in our lives. And if you follow her on Instagram, and I meant to write down what it is, I'll have to get back to you on that because it's not her name. Old Creek something, is that right, Teresa? You can tell me, and I'll correct it next time. But you should follow her, and I'll put it in the description box once I finally figure out what it was. And check out her pictures. I mean, talk about a vignette. This woman can do it. So she said she'd help me out with the tags. So no pressure, Teresa. No, everybody knows. So I'm going to be dropping off some tags to her. What, tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. And she's going to help me out with the Etsy page with that. So bless her for that. And you'll definitely tell the difference when they show up on the Etsy page. Huge difference. Anyways, well, the one thing you can't really tell on the Etsy page, there's 3 main types or sizes of these tags. So I kind of want to put them beside each other so you know what you're dealing with. Most of them, for the most part, are going to be your like 2x3 kind of tags. Sometimes they're square, sometimes they're tapered off like a tag. So that's your standard size. And this is some Halloween. Aren't those cute? Aren't they adorable? This one only has, I think, 8 designs. But there's that. Or they're kind of longer and skinny. So this is the Valentine one. And bunny rabbits. There's a kitty in here somewhere. Make a liar of me. Out of me. There we go. Isn't that cute? But anyways. So there's this size. There's this size. And then there's some minis. This is like a vintage birthday set. Has different little birthday postcards. I just love them. I think they're so cute. And again, they're not perfect. I don't ship them out. I'm the one that's doing all the gluing and the snipping and the punching. So if you think you're gonna see them all lined up nicely and see your eyeball through the hole, not so much. That's, I tell you, whew, maybe I am a machine. Look at that one. Anyways, sometimes I get lucky. But once you put floss on them, you're never gonna know. Anyways, so that's what they are. Your 3 different sizes. These will normally be listed as, like I said, a mini, and a regular tag looks more like these. If you actually look through the description, I do put the dimensions in there for you if you're curious, just so you know. A little sneak peek. I do have some new designs coming up. Not quite done yet. Just in the printed stage. It's like a watercolors. Really looking forward to seeing these done. Look at that. Strawberries. Let's see here. Some country farm. Some gorgeous roses. And some really beautiful sunflowers. So those are coming. Give me time. I'm about to head to the beach here Saturday. Ooh. Can I tell you how excited I am for that? This is my annual old lady tour. Going down to Avon in the Outer Banks. Me and some friends from work and others are gathering together. There'll be 8 of us in this house. And there's going to be a whole lot of floating in that pool, walking on the beach, and sipping adult beverages. So, I'll be thinking of you. I'll raise a glass. Meanwhile, so if you do go to the Etsy store, I'm not going to put it on vacation, but I will post the dates that I'll be gone at the top. And just know that if you do place an order sometime between May 4th and the 11th, I will ship them out. I'll get them all done on the 12th, and I'll ship them out on the 13th. So, because I guess it takes a while for Etsy to put your store on vacation and then bring it back or something. I didn't really know, so just letting you be aware if you go there and there's a delay, that's it. But if I get an order in the time that I'm gone, I will at least reach out, let them know, hey, just so you know, and we'll go from there. But I don't normally take a lot of vacations, so this is a fluke. I'm sure we'll get through it just fine. But anyways, again, thank you for the response for all the Etsy stuff. It's been wonderful, and it's been a lot of fun so far. So I appreciate that. So, oh, I guess I should tell you. It isn't PottyMouthStitcher for the store. It is TheCottageCatDesigns. The Cottage Cat is a logo and a name I've had for other things crafty in my life over the years, so I just ran with that. And, you know, still works. I still live in a cottage, still have cats. It's all good. So you can follow me on Instagram, TheCottageCatDesigns, and as well as that's the name of the store on Etsy. So just FYI. What else? So what I've been watching, Flosstube wise, I've had a couple mentions, and there were newer Flosstubers, and bless your heart. First one is the Peacock Stitcher, and thank you so much for the mention. She's really sweet, and I felt I guess I gave her a warning shot. She was watching me and with the Let Love Rain, the Teresa Kogut piece that I showed you the last time, where I had finished the one little row all the way around for the border to see if it was going to match up. Not quite. So she was starting hers, and she's like, you know, I might want to do that. So she did, and I think she had much better luck than me. She also changed all the colors. So if you want to see another color pathway, whatever you want to call it, palette, for Let Love Rain, go check her out, the Peacock Stitcher. They're very pretty colors. I love them. I can't wait to see that one come together. It's going to be really neat. What else? Oh, Stone Magpie. She mentioned me, I think just the other day. She's in England, and she does diamond painting as well as cross stitch. She's delightful. I guess she brought me up because she had, she finished the, what was it, the Historical Sampler Company Stitch Along. What was the name of it? I got it written down. Hang on. Oh, All Things Grow with Love. I've seen this a few times now. It is beautiful. She's finished that one, and she had started another piece that was this zodiac, this huge zodiac piece. It's going to be beautiful, and it's real colorful. It reminds me of, like Satsuma Street colors. I don't know if that's the piece or not, but it's going to be beautiful. But she had started it, and she was saying how, you know, she had to frog out the beginning of it at least once because she got distracted by the videos, and then she finally called me out as being the video she was watching, but she miscounted. So I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm right there with you. I've done it 100 times, but thank you for the mention nonetheless. So if you get a chance, check her out. She's got some pretty stuff. And that's Stone Magpie. Also, Garand Stitchery. Congratulations to them this past week. If you've been following them, they opened their brick and mortar store down in Ozark, Alabama. I'm ready for a road trip. Who's ready? I mean, I think from Roanoke area, it is like 9 hours. All right. I would love to see it. I would love to meet them in person. Been watching as they go through the alphabet on their Flosstubes, and there's so many designers out there I have not even remotely seen before. I mean, I might have heard the name, but I had not really seen their designs, and it's not safe. It's not safe watching their videos. I'm just telling you. But definitely more reason to hop in the car and go check them out. So if you're anywhere in the area or you want a road trip this summer, go to Ozark, Alabama, and check out Garand Stitchery. Who else have been watching? Handwork Maniac. She just posted, just last night, her Maynia update, or her plans, I should say. She has a very unique way of doing the Maynia thing, and I think she was like the very first Flosstube I ever watched, or definitely in the top first 3. And I love how organized she is and how she has a plan for this stuff. And it's amazing. God bless you, Brenda. Keep up the good work. It's inspiring. And I'm like, I just don't know. Because I guess it all started in 2018. So she has like 18 days of, you know, start a project every day. And then she comes back to them every year. You just have to watch her for it to make any sense. But it's impressive. So then when she finishes one, she takes it off. And then that's how many she gets to start a new one this year, because she's finished one project that was in that spot. So it's pretty neat idea. For those that still do Maynia, I know some people don't. I do. What the heck, right? What's an excuse? get some more started or focus on a few pieces for the month, because we all need some direction in life, right? Of course, Brenda and the Serial Starter Laura, watch them. Butterfly Stitches I watched. Karen Combs Studio is always really good. Lindy Stitches, Just Keep Stitching. Gosh, there's so many. you know the main ones, and then some little ones in between that you're like, oh yeah, okay. They might only have like 10 or less videos, but they're still good, and I love watching other people's projects. So there's some ideas of some new ones. If you haven't already heard their names, go check them out. What's next? How about we do the giveaways? So you don't have to wait to the end. If you don't want to see all my whips and my weird Maynia stuff, I do have a little bit of haul, then you don't have to. Giveaways, you know the rules. I'm going to put my email in the description. It's basically PottyMouthStitcher@gmail.com. If you see your name or hear your name or your handle or whatever alias you're going by, get a hold of me. Say winner, winner, chicken dinner, and give me your information. Please be 18, or at least look 18. I won't tell, so that I can get your address and send it all to you. And we will go from there. And I will get to the mailbox before I leave for the beach. I promise. All right, first one up was the Silver Creek Samplers Christmas list. And this goes to Rita Ann Haverman, 8395. Rita Ann Haverman, 8395. Congratulations. You won my very first piece I ever did on linen. All yours. Next up is the Little House Needleworks Tall Pines. Keyword for that was pine, and this goes to Felice, HC2DH. There you go, Felice. If you can read my chicken scratching, you're the winner. Bookshelf by Little House Needleworks. There's this one. And this goes to Mickey Odell, 1829. Mickey Odell, 1829. Congratulations. Get a hold of me. Bittersweet and Broomsticks. An awesome Brenda Gervais. This one goes to Griffin and 3. Griffin and 3. Email me. Here's my slightly super well used Rosewood Manor well loved chart. And this goes to AKH Quilts. AKH Quilts. Congratulations, you get to stitch that beauty. And last but certainly not least is the Cricket Collection. Cute little beachy goodies. Look at those. Someone's gonna have fun with that. And this was my favorite handle of the day. Procrastinator Sharon. That's a great tagline right there. Procrastinator Sharon. Sharon, you got a great name? Give me an email. You get to stitch some beachy stuff. So congratulations to everyone. Can't wait to hear from you and get those in the mail this week. What's next? Whips. Whips. We found my pile of whips. Okay, I just printed this off today. It's the Hometown South. Teresa Kogut. This is through April. This is a 2-year stitch along she's doing. I'm doing this on the Called For Up in the Attic by Fox and Rabbit. Here's all the gorgeous colors we'll be using for the next couple years. And this one, when I started, since it was 36 count, I'm always wishy-washy. Do I want to do over 2, 2 over 2, or 1 over 2? Well, I started with 2 over 2. Oopsie. Started with 2 over 2. And then it was getting super bunchy there. and the old willow antiques, and I was not thrilled. So I switched to 1/2. Other than, I think I finished the black roof, the 310 roof, and then this one too, just because it was kind of halfway through, and I'm like, that might look really dorky. So I finished those off, but then we're switched over to 1/2. And I'm going to stick with that. Because they're basically full coverage in each one of these little houses. I think if it were just a bunch of small motifs, kind of like a Consider the Lilies, you wouldn't know the difference, and it would be fine. And honestly, the coverage is decent. It's just me going, do I like that or not? And trusting it enough. It's just the darker colors where I think it's like, but again, once you do the 6 feet back rule, looks great. Winning, right? So, there's the hometown Sal. Where should I start this pile? Next up, here's another one I'm going to need your opinion on, ladies and germs. It's Owl Forest Embroidery, Everflowering Garden. She's a beast. Because, you know, I have to do all the big girls. Because it's nuts. I'm doing this one on a 36 count antique ivory, and I had gotten cottage garden threads for these. I opted not to do the Owl Forest, just because, whatever, water under the bridge, right? So, here's the beautiful colors that I got. And for the most part, they all turned out exactly what I thought they were gonna be. Pretty close. And I love how they're stitching up. But the high country that I'm using around the border, when you look at it one way, oh yeah, it's green. But you look at it up against others, and let me see if this is being weird. It's like, is it green or is it just brown? You know, it's kind of a tough call. So I think what I'll be doing is just finish the border with it. And there's a lot of it. It's actually, of course, the biggest stitch color. There's like 15,000 stitches of just this color. And I'm like, well, if I use it all in the middle, because see, if you see it by itself, it does seem kind of brown. But then again, sometimes it seems kind of green. So I can't win. So in the middle, where it's more of the motifs of the different potted plants and topiaries and whatnot, I'm going to stick with the true greens, which is, for Cottage Garden, is Pickle and Chamomile Tea are the two that I'm using primarily. And they're beautiful. They're all beautiful. Even the high country is gorgeous. It's just kind of brown more than a green. One of those weird greens, you know, some of the greens in the world that like look kind of brown, look kind of blue, look kind of green, you know. So, but it's what we see in nature too. So I'm running with it. I'm fairly committed, like I said. I mean, as you can see, not that I'm, I don't know what, maybe 4% done with this bad boy. Because you can see, she is going to be fairly large. So, what do you think? You think it's too brown? Not that I'm changing much now. But feel free to give me your opinion. Make me feel bad. I mean, it won't last long, but I can take it. So, there is Owl Forest Embroidery. And you can tell I've been moving linen around. Woo! Stirring up all the called for cat hair. Anyways, moving right along. I pulled this one out last week. Let Freedom Ring. This is Lila's studio. I'm doing this on the 40 count script by Fabric Flare. Every time I pull this one out, I'm glad I did. I love working on this thing. There's all the pretty colors. If you're thinking about doing this one, do it. Don't be intimidated by that giant building. Because I can say I love it now, probably because I haven't gotten to the giant building, otherwise known as Independence Hall. somewhere in Philadelphia. Someday I'll check it out. There it is. Look at that. So basically what I did is I wanted to see if we all remember the story, the super tight piece of script fabric flare. You see the light script on it? Fabric that I'm going for is like, let's just see how close it is on these sides. And I had originally, my mom had stitched some fabric on here just so I could get it in a Q-snap as I got closer to the edge. And now, since I'm primarily stitching in hand, I went ahead and just kind of cut those off. But there it is. Looks like I'm going to have just enough to get that stretched and on the old frame someday. There you go, as a close-up of that side that's more done. I'm down to the tops of the trees, and then the big old buildings start. So I was pretty thrilled to have all that done. It's nice to see the definition coming out of a piece. But I do love that one. And then, if you're not new here, here's my friend Inspiration. Gorgeous. This is by Rosewood Manor. I mean, it's beautiful. And someday I'm going to really appreciate seeing it hanging on my wall. Because as you can see behind me, I've got all kinds of empty wall space. I don't know what year it's going to get there, but it will. This was a Whip Go call. Here's the pretty colors so far. And what am I doing this on? Oh, 32 count Moon Glow. So I love the fabric. There's this. And basically what I did was this little urn and stuff around it. So this one's definitely going to be done 500 stitches at a time, because that back stitch is a delight as well. I should go ahead and just do the border, right? I might up my border count, because currently, as you'll see, borders to Heidi 0. So maybe this one will be better. Let's think happy thoughts. Because yeah, my batting average kind of sucks. But that's Inspiration. Gorgeous piece. Don't let me fool you. Just because it's mainly because it's so many teeny tiny little whatevers, flowers, leaves, this and that. It's a lot of changing thread. So, I think the only thing that would have made it better is maybe stitch it on something smaller so it's not double thread. Since it's a 32, I had to go with 2/2. So there is the middle part there is 1/1. So, you know, maybe that'll be easier. Or some of it's 1/1, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. Next up, Let Love Rain. Teresa Kogut. I'm doing this on a 40 count mystery fabric with the beautiful called for DMCs. And this was the first border fail. Because I thought, hey, let's go ahead and take that little border all the way around. Diddy. Another big girl. So I did. And I missed it. Was it the first? Maybe it was the second. It was the second. I don't know. You'll see too. Both of them. I suck. I worked a little bit on the pretty color stuff. Got a couple little motifs in. Started a letter. Absolutely beautiful colors. Sorry, I'm dragging on the paper here. A little bit darker fabric than the called for. But, man, I've seen so many variations of this one recently. where people just totally changed it up and did bright colors, and they are beautiful. Like I said, the Peacock Stitcher, hers are totally different, absolutely gorgeous. I've seen a lot of people change it up. I wish I trusted my color sense better, and maybe someday I will. Maybe one of these days I'll actually take a class and learn what the heck I'm doing with the color wheel, other than going, look at the pretty colors, you know? So, there's that. She'll definitely be a prim looking piece at the end just because it is kind of muted and on the darker, but she's still going to be beautiful. Anything Teresa Kogut does, she could probably just, I don't know, do stick people. It'd be gorgeous. So, God bless you, Teresa. Next up, Blackberry House. This was actually one of my Maynia starts last year. So, you know, segueing into our next fun, which is talking about Maynia. This is Plum Street, and I'm doing this on a 32 count, 2/2. Do I have the name of it? Doesn't look like it. 32 count mystery fabric with the called for beautiful colors. And again, see, these are my original floss drops. I just did a punch. I'm not changing them now, but as I start new ones, you'll see some of the prettier ones come out. And here she is. It being 32, she's plenty big. But I like the colors. Can't wait to finally get a little bit more into the big old urn there. So, very pretty. So yeah, for a year's worth of work, I think she's going to be hanging around for Maynia for a while. Because, like I said, what I'll do is this month, I looked at my Whip Go and the heifer board calls, and were they? Some of them. I think Consider the Lilies. Consider the Lilies is on there as well, and that was actually my birthday start last year, but I considered it. My birthday's June 1st, so basically it's May. I considered that one and the same, and that's what I started then. So you'll see she's up next, and she got called next for this month. So I'm gonna knock out the boards as well as and then just focus on all the Maynia stuff, whether it's a start, last year's Maynia projects, whatever. That's what I'm gonna try to work on, or that's plan A. We'll see what happens. So here we go. This is Consider the Lilies. There's plenty of them on there. By Heartstring Samplery. And this is on 46 count Cappuccino by Fiber on a Whim. And there's all the gorgeous colors. This one looks like a rat's nest. We'll look at this side. Those are the pretty called for colors. And this one, basically what I did on her was finish the simple part of the border. If I can get her all in the same shot, there she is. And this one, I was off by 3 stinking strands. So a stitch and a half. Oh well. Like I said, borders 2. Heidi's 0. But there she is, what I got started, what the colors are going to look like. Absolutely beautiful. My first attempt on working 46 count. Again, I live in a small house. You can only have so many giant projects. Or we'll just have to switch them out from time to time. Gotta finish them first. I don't think I have to worry about that just yet. But anyways, that one, I do love working on this one. 46 count, stitching in hand. Yeah, not this girl. Didn't like the way the stitches looked. Got a little too sloppy for me. So I do put that in the Q-snap as I'm working. Gives it, you know, better tension. And for a piece like this that I know I'm going to be putting under glass at some point, let's try to make it look pretty. So, that's it. Those are all the whips I've been working on. Oh, I lied. There's one more, but I didn't pull it, so oh well. Till next time. It's little June Quaker. Yeah. You'll just be surprised next month when I show it again. Got some pretty good time on that one. She's about a third of the way done, but it's a small piece. I know, me doing small. What? Could be the end of the world. But she's coming right along. Anyway, so on to Maynia. Like I said, what I did last year, I started 5 projects, 5 for the 5th month. That was the concept I was going with. How about I'll show you what I did. So consider the Lilies you just saw, Blackberry House you just saw, and Freedom Reigns by Silver Creek. Look, I finished that one. So you saw this one, I think, a couple months ago. Maybe a little bit longer. So I can finish things. It's rare, but it happens. Fully finish. We'll see. Someday. It's bound to happen. That's another one. I had Seasons of the Heart, Brenda Gervais, the summer. This one is almost finished. And absolutely no reason why I can't get this one finished this May, so that's the plan. I think this one's going to the beach with me so I can finish her. So that will be delightful. And then Lacey Cottage Sampler was my 5th start. Another Rosewood Manor. And I got this one because of these absolute gorgeous colors. Look at those purples. They just snag me and suck me right in. But I don't have much done. And I couldn't tell you if that's upside down, backwards, forwards, or what. But that's what I've got done. So yeah. She's going to be with us a couple more Mays. I'm just guessing. But that's a safe bet. So those are the ones that I started last year. Like I said, finished one, almost another. The others are going to be here a hot minute. So this year, the one I started last night is one you've heard me talk about several times already. I saw this for the first time in person. I think I was up at Craft Gallery in Findlay, Ohio. Like I said, Mom, where I grew up, was like 20 miles away from Findlay. And it is One Nation. Bygone stitches. There we go, without the glare, slightly better. And the original piece of fabric I had for this, I was like, meh. I was not impressed. So I couldn't quite find the called for, but I went to 123 Stitch and got 32 count ale Belfast linen. Well, Belfast, I guess. 32 count ale by, what is it? I think it's just Weichel. But look at that. Much darker. And I think the colors really pop on that. And she's going to be another big one because it's a 32 count. So, well, let's just show you the start first. Here's my killer colors. See, there's my tiny little patriotic minis. And those are the 3 called for. And here's my little start. I'll start in the top right corner. Since I'm stitching in hand, it's easier to just go from right to left, especially with long, straight rows. But this is a little, not far, it's a little bit longer than it needs to be, but you can tell she's going to be a big piece. But what I'm doing different, because I've seen 1,000 variations on how people do this, like they stitch the states as they see them, or they change the color of the states they've lived in or been stationed in, or, you know, whatever. There's 1,000 ways to do it, which I think is really cool. So my spin on that is, you can see, without showing you the pattern, in between the states, they have a little motif, little diamonds, little squiggle snake looking thing. And then in the middle of the stars, little blue and white centers. I bought beads. So I'm going to do the coordinated color beads for all those. And then in the 2 states that I've lived in, which is Ohio and Virginia, I'll do all of those in beads as well. So stay tuned. Since this is easily stitched in hand, I may start doing some beads to see how they look. And hopefully by the next video, I'll have a few in there so you can see what it's going to look like. Because the white beads I have are more clear, so I'm not certain how they're going to show. That's my only thing I'm kind of kicking around. It might have to switch those over to true white instead of clear white, especially with this dark fabric. But I have plenty of beads, so I'm not too concerned. But so far, this was a lot of fun to start. And I mean, that was like in 2 hours, like I said last night. Other than, you know how I love the white stitching, but at least it's not a giant background of white, so we'll make it work. But I'm looking really, really forward. I've been wanting to do this one for so long. I'm like, this is it. It's Maynia. It's time to start it. Quit complaining and just do it, right? All right, so here are my other thoughts for starting. Things I've really been wanting to do. And I thought, man, I really should do something small so I can get it done by next year. Yeah, well, maybe next year I'll do something small. Maybe. Jardin Prive. I love all their stuff. I have several. I finally was like, I just need to get one of these started. So this one is the Sampler and Bouquets. There's 3 charts and they go together. And that's what it looks like when she's all done. I'm trying to not get the glare on it. So she's kind of long and skinny. But I just love the colors. Very pretty. Kind of Quakery. Kind of not. So, and then I was able to use stash on this one. It's all DMC is what I'm using, I believe. Yep. And pulled out the box of Ada that I've inherited. Basically found an 18 count that's long enough because it had to be like 30 inches long or something. And that's what I'm going to use because it's white. I think those colors are going to show up the best on that. And why not? So we will see. Get that one started. And because it's May, there's my Mirabilia. It's not the only one I have, but it's the most recent one I bought. I have a pretty dark green fabric for it. Part of my haul is I got the beads for it. So this is the Emerald Mermaid. Yes, Emerald Mermaid by Mirabilia. More than likely I'm starting this one. You've already seen 100 people start it. This is Serenity by Teresa Kogut. This was one of her market releases this year. Just love the colors. Border. Love it. Let's see if yet another border kicks my ass. All right. Had her for about a year now or more. This is Mary Gypsum by Whilst Iris Naps. Just beautiful. I believe this is one of the ones from the Facebook group. Something sampler group. I really should write this down because clearly my brain isn't something you want to trust when I'm staring at the camera. But anyways, got it from Hobby House. They were the store that worked with them and got all this done. I'm pretty certain all the called for, it was the whole kit. So it was the called for linen, and I believe I went with the silk on this one. So really looking forward to it. Another really cute border, pretty, dainty. Looking at the pattern now, it might not be too terrible. Stand by. We'll find out. And this one, I don't know. Again, she's another big girl, but every time I look at it, I just love it. It's Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery, Bluebirds and Bluebells. I've seen this a few times by people, but I've not seen anyone just yet super far on it. Not that I'll be catching up, mind you, but there she is. Very pretty. I'm going to do this on 36 count. What is it? I got Winter Moon. And there's no way to get away from that glare, really. So, don't have the threads just yet. I have to pull them yet. I think I have most of them, but I'm not entirely certain. But I think that's it. I think those are the 5 things I'm going to go with. I think. Like I said, plan A. All right, haul. I got a little bit of haul. It's kind of a mess, I'm sorry. While we were, I was home at the end of last month with finishing cleaning out the house and doing my mom's celebration of life. And I have missed a cross stitch piece. I brought most of the others home. I think all the other ones home, and you've seen them in the prior videos. So if you're interested in some Mom and Heidi's journey through cross stitch, refer back to those. But this one was for Mom and Dad's 25th anniversary, and I just saw the initials on it. So it was her sister Donna stitched this one. It's a little stained. Now that I look at it closely, I have to try to clean it up. Isn't that cute? This was up in one of the bedrooms. I'd totally just not seen it. So I might take it out of there and get that little stain off of there and reframe it on something that might fit it a little better, or maybe not. Might be part of its charm. There's that. Of all things, my husband turned 50 a couple weeks ago, or last week, and the only thing he wanted, here's a window into my husband, was a key for his truck reprogrammed, because the one he had, you know, where the hole is, the top had broken off, so he was forever losing it. He had it rigged. So I went to Ace Hardware, where they can program, because it has a little chip in it to start the truck. So they had to program a new key. So while I was doing that, I was kicking around Ace Hardware and looking at all their cool stuff. They had a bunch of stickers. They had. I like it. What's not to love? I don't know if that's going to go on the emotional support water bottle or what, but it's going to go somewhere. I just had to show you all first. Who was it? Colorado Stitcher, I believe. Is that Sherry? And she just did her 50th Flosstube, and she was showing her, she had her list of top 10 lists, different things, favorite finishes, favorite products, la 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 la. So she showed this, and I'd been looking for one of these bad boys, couldn't decide on which one, kind of gave up, because I'm like, forget it, I'll just move on. And then she showed it, and I was like, tink, 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 add to cart. And this is the little Kodak printer, where it either prints tiny little pictures, or you can buy the specific, type of paper where they're little stickers, little like 2x2 stickers. And I'm like, that would be perfect to stick it in your planner. Pictures of your projects as you go along, or what have you. Not entirely certain how I want to use it yet, but God bless Amazon, it was here in 2 days. So there's that. This was several weeks ago now. Fox and Rabbit was having a sale. So I got me some paper bark and flannel flower 32 count. They're pretty similar, as you can see. I think the flannel flower is slightly more mottled. Both beautiful. sure. One of them might go on one of the Maynia starts, actually. We'll see. Got fat quarters of those. I think I was also able, I was able to snag one of their higher level Patreon spots that had opened up. So here in a couple, 3 months, I hope to be getting their fabric of the quarter. That'll be really neat. Really neat. My new stitchy friend, Teresa, she gave me this, and then I proceeded to stick it in the purse, and it got slightly mangled. But this was the freebie, I believe, that Teresa gave out, yeah, at Nashville this year. I'm like, oh, how cute. I love that little tomato. And a bird. I found this while going through stuff. Again, previous videos, I showed all the inherited haul that I found in Mom's Crafts. So this is a Paul Yvonne from I don't know when. Does it give me a name or a date? 1987. Vintage Paul Yvonne. As you can tell with all that backstitch. Which is very similar to this Paul Yvonne, right? So, with a lot of backstitch. For those that haven't gone all the way back to see the very first video where I talk about this one, I started this one because I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for flowers and clearly giant projects. Of course, these were in the days where I thought everything had to be on 14, which was a shame because that's when I could actually see things. And I could have been doing much smaller counts, but stupid me. Wasted my good years on the 14 count. But I started it. It went into the closet in my killer Walmart plastic project bag. And Mom, bless her, finished it. And Dad framed it. So it takes a village to do a Paul Yvonne, kids. Not gonna lie, it takes a village. So will I do this one? I don't know. Don't hold your breath. But I found it. She's beautiful. I also joined Barefoot Needle Art project bag, quarterly bag, whatever it is. But there's this one. Mama would have loved this one. She loved purple. Look at that cute little dragonfly. Love the colors. It's beautiful. You know what's in here? It's the finished piece, or the finished picture of the June Quaker that I don't have in front of me to show you. But I have this done and most of that. So, I'm almost done. And these I bought because I saw them on, is it Handmade by Sarah W. that has the wonderful paisley and polka dot date box thingy behind her. And these were the patterns, and God willing they'll fit. According to my meager calculations, they will. So stand by for future shows and we'll see if they actually do. Because I have all the gizmos. I just have to finish one. And that's why I started with June, because I thought maybe, just maybe, I'd finish by June. Maybe. And then, of course, I rolled through some Gamos treasures. I was on a project bag. I was getting, you know, desperate and buying some of the funky plastic ones, so it was time. It was time. So this is Gamos Treasures. Kind of like the 8.5 by 11. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, that's the old pattern, but that's the size of these. Love the birds. Comes with a little mat thread bed. And then the beautiful quilted ones. Isn't that beautiful? Just love it. I think this is kind of my new favorite size. Since I'm not trying to put Q-snaps in these anymore, they're a lot easier to store. And here's the thread bed for this one. Just beautiful. I love it. Not certain what's going in there yet, but probably Maynia pieces. And then, last but not least, I had 1, 2, 3 stitch. Needed some thread for a couple of these projects, and of course the Mermaid beads. So I got a Crochet Go-Go. Man, I love this lady. If you follow her on Instagram and you go into her blog, she has all kinds of free patterns. If you haven't already taken advantage of some of those, some of them are smaller, some are, for the most part, they're smaller. Very cute. I think she was in one of the magazines this quarter too. I love her stuff. It's just beautiful. Simple, colorful, just love it. And this is what, I haven't picked up one of her bigger pieces. This is the, what, Natal and Cheetah. I believe that's how you say it. I took a year of Italian in college. I did 3 years of Spanish. And then I skipped my senior year because I only had to do 3 years. I was done. And because language is not my forte. I don't really know what my forte is, but it's not language. And so then when I go to Kent State, when I started my college tour of Ohio, I went to Kent State because I thought I wanted to be an anthropologist. Here I am. And they said you can test to see where you fall in the Spanish world, which would have been flat on my face. Or you can go ahead and take a year of another language. So I was like, well, what languages do you have? Italian. Sure, I'll take Italian. So anyone out there that even remotely knows anything Italian other than, you know, mangia, whatever. It is a beautiful blend of French and Spanish. So French root words or verbs in Spanish, and then you mix them together, and then you thought you knew Spanish, and then you're like, wait a minute. Now I'm totally hosed. But at least I can spell spaghetti, and I kind of know how most things are pronounced if I'm just reading it. So I'm pretty certain this is Natale and Cheetah. So, because CI is a chi name in us, whereas a CHI in Italian is a key. So, like gnocchi, there you go. So there's your Italian lesson for the day. Fun fact. I should have picked German since everything's German in my world, but at least maybe I would know Spanish still. Anyways, now I'm just rambling. If you made it this far, God bless you. There's a gold star for you somewhere. Get you one, stick it in your planner. I will be back in a few weeks, hopefully, and maybe a little less pasty after I work on my melanoma while floating in the pool here next week, and working on my Maynia projects. So I'll see y'all soon, kids. Happy stitching.